Saturday than with our great Senator Joni Ernst at the Roast and Ride. Did you all get enough to eat? Some really good food today? Very good. Well, I could go on and on about my friend Senator Joni Ernst. She's just an amazing mentor to me. She's a fabulous friend, which we don't have many of those in Washington, D.C. My boys absolutely adore her. Sometimes they call her Aunt Joni. My oldest, Max, is with me today. So Max, it's my job to embarrass my children, right? He's 13, so everybody say hi, Max.
Hi, Max.
He hates him right now. But I think it's important to tell the story of when I told Max that we were coming to Roast and Ride this year, and he said, Mom, is Joni riding in on the bike again this year? And I said, well, yes, she is. And he goes, she's a bad. I'm not going to complete the sentence of what he said, but yes, she is, right? I think we all agree that Joni Ernst is fighting for Iowans every single day as your senator. She's such a leading voice for us on national security, on foreign policy, and of course, she is working hard to continue to make them squeal in Washington, D.C. I want to talk about something. It's already been touched on a little bit, but I think we all know this was a really dark week for our country. What happened on Thursday, the political persecutions of our President Donald Trump. President Biden's political operation was running in that courtroom. I think we can all agree, right? It was a DA who campaigned on taking out President Trump. It was a judge who actually donated to President Biden. And it's President Biden orchestrating this for the corrupt Department of Justice to go after political adversaries. So that's exactly what's happened, and they've used this to politically interfere with our election. And we all know that President Trump should be out on the campaign trail. The Democrats don't want him out there because it's about that contrast, right? I think this is going to backfire greatly on the Democrats. I think angry voters are motivated voters. Are you angry? Are you motivated? And I think it's very clear we cannot afford 4 more years of President Joe Biden's policies. Open borders, reckless spending, and frankly, his mental decline. I don't think he can effectively govern the country if he doesn't effectively know what day of the week it is, right? He is a man in decline, and he is pulling our country down with him. America deserves better, Iowa deserves better, and I think President Biden's presidency will be defined by one word, and that's failure. Failure. Both here at home and abroad. Failure on the global stage. We have hot wars emerging all over the world. Failure here at home by letting an invasion happen at our southern border. Every state is a border state. If we don't have safety and security in our country, in our state, what do we have? Thank goodness we have a governor who's willing to help hold the line here in Iowa and give us the backup we need when our president won't do what he has to do. We've had a Chinese national illegally crossed into our southern border, arrested right here in Iowa. 10 years ago, we had a spy ring busted here in Iowa. They were trying to steal our seed and take it back to genetically reverse engineer it. These are our adversaries who are trying to undermine our way of life and our values every single day. And while the Biden administration continues to downplay this crisis, I am working every single day alongside our great congressional delegation to stop this invasion. We need to deport these illegal immigrants, and we need to secure our border. And we have to do that on day one of the Trump presidency in 2025. Do you all agree? I think the more that Joe Biden doubles down on these failed policies, I think the bigger we're going to win. His mind is not the only thing failing us. His policies continue to fail us. So the questions I know you're all asking, because I'm asking them too. Are we better off right now than we were under President Trump?
No!
Is my utility bill lower than it was under President Trump?
No.
No! Am I paying less at the grocery store than I was under President Trump?
No!
Am I safer than I was under President Trump?
Absolutely not!
Right, so this is about course correction, right? We need to be able to answer yes to those questions. We need a safe, secure country. We need to stand up for taxpayers, and we need to fight for rural America. It's all about this contrast, a common sense, conservative approach to Biden's failed policies. So I am so proud of our Iowa delegation, Senator Grassley, Senator Ernst, Mariannette Miller makes Randy Beans for Zach Nutt, and I am so happy to partner with them. I look forward to making sure we're going to Milwaukee this summer. We get President Trump re-nominated so we can go take back the White House and elect him in November. We have a lot of work to do. So until then, we do have a lot of work to do, but we're House of Representatives. We're a Republican-controlled House of Representatives, albeit a very narrow majority. We're going to do everything we can to continue to be that firewall against those radical left policies coming out of President Biden. The firewall against the reckless spending. The firewall against continued attempts to dismantle the Second Amendment. The firewall against the calls to, they want to codify Roe v. Wade. I think we need to stand up for life at every chance we can have. We're also going to continue to fight to keep biological men out of girls' sports and defend life at every stage. So, no matter what, we're not going to let them These are endless attacks on our God-given rights and freedoms by the Democrats. They are going to continue to try to transform our country into a liberal wasteland. We're not going to let them do it, are we? No, we're not. So, the future of America is on the ballot, but we have to make Washington, D.C. run a lot more like Iowa, and in order to do that, we have to fire Joe Biden. So it's an honor to represent you all in Washington, D.C. I need your help too in November. Show up on Tuesday, get that muscle memory back of what it feels like to vote in a primary, and then let's go make sure we send a resounding message that Iowa is going to send a Republican delegation back to the United States Congress and the United States Senate, and we're going to elect President Donald J. Trump again for another term. Thank you so much.
Yay!